Awesome. All right, man, what's your name again?
It's Roy.
Floyd. I'm Lucas.
It's Roy.
Thank you for talking to us. Thank you so much. So my first question is, how long have you been homeless?
This time about 8 to 10 years.
8 to 10 years. Damn.
Yeah, this time, yeah.
And if you're comfortable talking about it, how long, or like what happened initially to make you homeless?
I was staying with family, and my mom died, and she was disabled, and we were in an 80 housing unit. So, you know, when she died, they didn't have any room for us in another multi-person apartment. So we were basically, started looking for excuses to evict us. You know, we didn't want to go through her shit, so, you know, all her stuff, you know, right after she died. So every time we started to unpack her stuff to go through it in our apartment and get full again, they hit us with another inspection. They had the maintenance people watching and telling them when that happened, so we ended up losing our place to stay. And I was the only one with no ID, so I couldn't go into a shelter.
Damn. And that was your first experience? You went to a shelter?
Oh no, this is my second time being homeless. It's just the longest one.
And then the big thing we have been talking about the shelters in all of our interviews. We're trying to find the common strings, like the main problems. When's the last time you've been to a shelter?
Last time I was in a shelter was back when I was a teenager.
Okay.
But even back then, or you know, before, you had problems with like scabies and lice and stuff like that. When they get an outbreak in one spot, it spread through the whole shelter like wildfire.
Yeah.
I said now we got even worse shit like COVID.
Yeah, now it's a pandemic. That's crazy. Because we've been talking, everybody we've talked to, when they bring up the shelters, they bring up thieving, they bring up rape, they bring up assault. All of these things are
rape
issues.
And stuff, but I know there's a lot of thievery. And staff play favorites and stuff like that. It's not fair treatment.
No.
And I won't do it because I've been vaccinated against COVID. I haven't gotten the booster vaccine. My girl has not been vaccinated at all. The only reason I got the vaccine was because I didn't want to bring anything home to her to make her sick.
How were you able to do that? Like, was it through a shelter, or did you find another program?
There was a couple of churches and stuff and food banks. They had free vaccinations going on at those, and there's a feed at the park that had free vaccinations going on. The fire department was doing it with them. I got it at the church I go get food boxes at. Okay,
that's cool. That's cool. The other thing I want to talk about was the sweeping. Like, have you been swept before?
Yeah, quite a few times. They've done a lot of sweeps. Sometimes they just do a warrant sweep where they come in and they run everybody's names. But other times they'll do a full sweep, like on the trail. They'll pick a section of the trail and anyone that camps there gets posted, period. And then also they're doing it on the freeway ramps. We're in the middle of being swept right now.
Yeah, right now. I've seen it. So the sign's posted right now.
The sign's here, but where I'm at, they've been trying to sweep us for the last couple of months. All because of the Ted Wheeler's state of emergency.
Yeah, I mean, walk us through that.
Yeah, well, he declared a state of emergency, and then because of the high number of traffic-related deaths or injuries in the city, he's claiming most of them are on freeway ramps, but I'd be willing to bet most of them, the ones involving homeless people, aren't on freeways. They're on major city streets. Yeah. Because there have been a lot of camps either in the street itself, on the edge of the roadway, or on sidewalks right next to it. You know, I'd be willing to bet most of them have not been on the freeway.
No, that's why I don't know how you'd even hit someone off a freeway ramp.
Well, on some of the freeway ramps, it's a shallow slope. Sometimes it's a steep slope. So it's possible for somebody to go up and over because there's no guardrails. Yeah. But the one we were at, it's such a steep hill and so high that there's no way anybody's going to get up accidentally. Yeah. They have to deliberately be trying to get up onto that ramp. And, you know, with the way this happened, but because of the one death on our ramp, we were one of the first ones to get kicked out.
Which ramp? So that was this ramp right over here?
I know, it's the ramp. It's the off ramp on Powell. Okay. Where the vehicles are already slowing down to get off of the freeway, and it's a steep hill, so it's like, you know, they wouldn't accidentally get hit there. Someone has to be trying to get up that slope.
So they're using those traffic deaths of homeless people as like a scapegoat to push you guys out.
Yeah, and the freeway ramps are ODOT property instead of regular city property. So there are places where we've been able to camp for long periods of time, anywhere from a few months to 6 months, unless there's an increase of crime in the area or something extreme happens, and or too much garbage. We get left alone in those spots as long as we keep it clean and we don't cause any problems in the area we're in. But we were there for almost a year before we started getting swept this time around, and now we're getting posted every couple of weeks.
So how's the process of getting swept go? Like, do they come in and like literally move you guys, or
no,
what do they do?
They put a notice up on a tree by a campsite, and you have a minimum of 72 hours before they show up, but no more than 10 days. And they show up, and basically first they pick up garbage and shit like that for the first couple of days, and then they get pushy, and near the end of the 10 days they'll start taking people's property. Now it gets put into a property bags and supposedly goes out to a warehouse, but sometimes you can't seem to get a hold of anybody, or nobody returns your calls, or they lose your file and stuff like that. They play phone tag with you and stall it out for 30 days where they can throw your stuff away. And some of it they throw away anyways, like furniture. If you have a bed or a chair or a shelving unit, you're not going to get it back. It goes straight to a dump. It doesn't matter if it's a rolling work table or not. It's still furniture. So it could be something you use for work, and they take it anyways. But then the rules say there's a 250-foot overlap zone. So if they put paper posting on one tree, 250 feet away from there is the nearest place you can camp, as long as it's not near another paper posting. But they're posting whole strips, and they've even posted places where there was no camps.
So
Just
like
to make sure nobody can move over there, make sure there wasn't a clear space. But they did posted us just a few weeks ago, and we moved up to a completely different area on the same ramp, but still far enough up, and it's behind the hill, so there's no way in hell anyone's going to hit us. Then we got posted there. We moved down just outside of that posting zone from the first initial posting, and they posted it again. Then we moved down another 250, 300 feet out of the posting zone, and they posted this again immediately within a couple of days.
So they just kind of follow you as you move up and down.
They're following us and reposting the previous area to make sure there's no place for us to go. They're trying to force us out of that area.
Okay.
They don't want us. They don't want us in open view of the public.
So what do you think is going to happen here? Like in the next, they said you guys have 72 hours. Where do you think these tents are going to move?
The minimum is 72 hours. The maximum is 10 days.
Okay.
So you have up to a week and a half at most. What'll happen is they're trying to clear this whole section out. They'll probably, either people are going to have to move up that way or move down towards Division or someplace else. People will have to find someplace else to put their tents up, because the weather's too crazy right now. It's going from spring weather back to winter weather overnight. And some people like me, I've had frostbite in both hands. I can't be out in the extreme cold, or my hands start to lock up. Even now it's causing them pain. My hands don't go to the numb phase. They go straight to the burning and pain phase. Because I've got permanent nerve damage. So it's like being out in the cold is not possible for me that much. And, that's when they hit us. They'll post us when it's inconvenient. There used to be a big list of extenuating circumstances, like extreme weather conditions or whatever, that could stop them from moving here. Now they've narrowed it down to a list of like 3 things. One is like there has to be snow on the ground or a forecast of freezing rain. So if the Weather Channel just says it's going to rain, it's not going to be freezing rain, that doesn't work.
And the rain will kill you. The rain is cold.
Rain can kill you. It can give you pneumonia. There's all kinds of problems.
And then there was that thing we talked about a little bit prior to recording. Where do you think, you said they're trying to push these people to a specific area. How are they even going to try and do that? How do you do that?
Well, that's basically, we asked them earlier on and before the pandemic, or near the end of the pandemic, where we could go without being posted for a while. They used to tell us where we could go for at least a few weeks without getting posted. And then they tried to tell us that we could go out to this place called the Jungle on the Springwater Trail, which is a wooded area known for rapes and assaults and stuff like that. And that's where they told us that if we went out there, we wouldn't be posted.
Called the Jungle. I don't want to go there. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's a place where women are known to get raped. People are known to be beat up, assaulted, robbed, to have their stuff taken. And that's where they're trying to push all the homeless people to. There or in the shelters that aren't safe.
And that's so. Have you seen what have you seen the city do to help? Has the city done much at all?
Not really. The people that live in the city have done a lot to help. Like there's several churches and other places that do food banks and feeds. They hand out clean supplies so people can at least try to do their drugs safely. Stuff like that. But as for placement and help getting into transitional housing without having to go to a shelter, there's not a lot. Housing Authority one of the only places. Places like TPI will have a transitional housing program, but it's all in downtown Portland. They don't have very much resources to get off the streets away from downtown.
Yeah.
You know, most of it's in downtown Portland, not out here. And people out here, we don't want to leave our stuff behind to go sit down there at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning just to be able to get in and get services, and then have to come all the way back out here and be gone an entire day.
Yeah.
People go through your shit and steal it if you're gone that long.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, what are we supposed to do? You know, it's fucked up, but there's only a limited amount of resources, and most of it's not positioned out here.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm not really trying to work with the city resources. I don't really trust them. I'm trying to work with the churches, the nonprofit. Like with these interviews, I want to put eyes on the people that are actually doing things to help.
Yeah.
I want to get them more support if I can.
The church is doing a lot to help too.
What'd you say it was called?
There's the Church of the Nazarene on Powell. They're one of the better ones at helping too. I mean, they have a mobile shower truck on Saturdays out there that gets so people can take showers and stay clean. They've got lunch program on Sundays where people can come up and get a sack lunch to go. They also have a little post office so people can have their mail sent to the church, you know, and stuff like that. Plus they've got a transitional housing program where they've actually built tiny houses behind the church that people get to stay in.
It's crazy.
But they got, as long as they're not using drugs, and then they got to do like chores and other stuff. But it's, you know, something to get them off the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's not a lot of places out here doing that.
No.
I mean, there's a couple of good food banks and stuff.
So I also want to talk about like where your head is at when you're out here. Like you have friends, right? Like do you have like a community of people that you stay with?
I have friends that I keep in contact with. I don't always camp near them.
Yeah.
Because I like to have my privacy.
Yeah. But it's good because we've met a couple people that don't know anybody. Like they're truly alone out here. And like there's something scary about that. Like how does having people to talk to and be in this situation with help you?
You know, you're the most part, or like if you're low on food, sometimes you can go to them and get something to eat.
Yeah.
You know, because we help each other out. I mean, there's some, you know. But there's also privacy. You know, trying to find some places a little bit out of the way where you can have privacy. Because relationships are hard out here.
Yeah.
And most people don't even make it to a year.
Yeah.
You know, me and my girl have been together for over 2.5 years.
That's dope.
And I've had to fight every step of the way to keep her because of other people's interference and stupid shit.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, I prefer to have a little privacy for her sake, if nothing else.
Yeah. That's dope. You gotta protect that the best you can.
Yeah,
that's beautiful too.
Some of us have responsibilities. Like I gotta make sure she has food and clothes and stuff, especially because she's older than I am, so you know, this extreme weather tears on her body more.
Yeah.
You know, wears her down faster than it does me. You know, and I'm also physically able to do more, so I can actually bring in more money than she can right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't even have phones, so we can't even keep in contact, really.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we had phones, we could at least be on Wi-Fi if we had to go someplace and the other person could get a hold of them. But right now, we can't really do that. Although pretty soon I might have a phone, because there's a pre-program that I might be able to get a phone through.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's cool, and it's better for you guys to be able to stay together, because it's like as soon as you leave the house, it's like you don't know what's gonna happen to her. It's fucked up. So, a question I like to ask.
I mean, at the house I'm not as worried because I got friends that are camped near me.
Yeah, that's
that
cool.
will keep an ear open. But if she goes someplace at night, that's not always the safest time to be on the trail.
No.
Or anywhere else, and that bothers me because we don't have any way to get in hold of each other. So if somebody does mess with her out here, I'm not going to know right off the bat. You know, and I might have to find out secondhand or something like that, and I don't want that to happen.
No, that's fucking terrible. It is. You guys have to stick together.
Yeah, but I mean, if something happened to her, I want her to be able to get into her emergency contacts and call me right away, like have it on speed dial. You know, I might not be able to get there in time to stop something from happening completely, but I can sure as hell reduce the amount of damage they can do.
Yeah. I mean, I like that you guys are together, though. It's cool.
Yeah, it's hard to.
Yeah.
You know, especially considering, you know, not only are we homeless, but we're also an interracial couple, so there's still people that look down on that and frown about it.
That's crazy. 2022, it's fucking wild. So, I mean, this question I like to ask, when you think of the future, what do you see? Right
now, I'm not sure. I'm still trying to get I'm hoping my future is with her. You know,
Yeah.
I want marriage and everything else. She acts like she doesn't want it right now. So I don't know. But right now, I'm still trying to get my 2 stimulus checks.
Yeah.
The first 2. No, they didn't show up at the first address I used, so now I got this address at the church. I'm going to try and have that tax return set up done to get them sent there. If those come, then I'll be able to look towards the future. But right now, I have to stay in the present because I don't have any vehicle or any place for us to stay. So I can't really look forward until I do have something like that.
Yeah.
Even if it's something that I got to make payments on and buy in the long term. As long as I can get something like that, then I can look forward.
Yeah, that could change everything. But I get that similar answer. Like, it does become day to day. It's just getting through the day. How are you going to make money? How are you going to get through?
Yeah, and that's pretty much where I'm at right now, is getting day to day.
Yeah.
If I had a vehicle, like a van or something, or even a pickup that I could pull a trailer behind, it'd change everything.
Yeah. Another thing, because I talked to you about this a little bit earlier, the thing that I like to do these interviews, because like when the news talks about the homeless issue, they just talk about you. They'll like be over there just talking about it while you guys are in the background, you know. I like doing this because you can speak your piece. Yeah. What is it you would like people to hear from your perspective as someone that just gets walked by, you know?
That we're still human.
Yeah.
You know, some of them might be down on our luck. Some people might be trapped in addictions, but we're still people. You know, and shoving this out of sight, out of mind isn't going to change anything. It's just going to make people less safe.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, that's what I want people to understand. Is we're still humans. Some of us are down on our luck. We haven't been able to get our IDs because they keep getting stolen, and because of that, we haven't been able to get back on our feet.
Yeah.
Or because we keep having to move so much and end up leaving stuff behind that we need, that we end up losing jobs and stuff because we keep getting shuffled from site to site. So we're not able to hold down a job long enough to get off the streets. You know, so it's just, remember we're human, you know, and that we're still people.
Yeah. It's that humanizing thing that I'm really trying to do, because that's what we keep talking about is people. I don't like the way people ignore the homeless, like they avoid eye contact. I've seen people, like if they do give it a dollar, they'll crump it up, throw it at them and shit like that. Like it's just so crazy to me that people treat you guys different.
And then there's also some other people that really, they look beyond that and they see the people. Yeah. Like there's a couple of ladies that started coming out to the one bottle drop, the one in Clackamas. You know, and feed anyone in line with the bottle drop. They feed them, they give them food, they give them clothes. They try to help them find other resources, like me and a friend of mine, because we're always hauling so much on bikes and stuff. They got each of us a bike trailer. So it's like there's some people that still see us as humans and they treat us that way too. You know, and I think we all need to be grateful for the people that already know that. But other people need to know, you know, that, you know, we're still people. And
I mean, that's why throughout all these interviews I've done, I keep noticing that you guys have like an enhanced like appreciation for the things you do get, like instead of a bitterness. Like when you do get something nice, it's just like it's dope. And instead of just focusing on the negative, that's crazy to me. It's like you guys are like monks sometimes. It's just crazy.
Like I try to help anyone out. You know? Yeah. I might not let anyone in my tent. You know, I might only let my closest friends in my tent. But I don't care if it's one of my worst enemies. If they come up to me and they're hungry and don't have anything to eat, I'll feed them. I might not let them in my home because I'm not going to trust them. But I'll still feed them. You know, I'll still give somebody the basics. I keep extra tarps and extra blankets on hand on purpose. So if somebody gets flooded or something, I can give them a blanket and a tarp to stay dry. You know, so it's like I try to do what I can to pay it forward and help others too.
And another thing I'm trying to hammer home with these interviews is like the kind of pretentiousness people move with, like how they feel like homelessness could never happen to them. You know?
It's not. It's as simple as losing your place to live. I mean, really, somebody loses a job for a little while, they're not allowed to kick them out right away, but they can, you know, the same month, but they can do it like 90-day notice or something. Yeah. You can still lose your place to live if you lose your income, and like your company has too many shortfalls because of COVID or something else. So they start letting go employees to make ends meet, so they don't lose their business. Sometimes that means letting people go, and then you don't have an income. And if you can't find a job in time, you will get kicked out. You know, your apartment building will evict you. So it's real easy to lose your place, or if somebody dies in your family who's disabled and you're in an ADA apartment, your apartment complex might not have another opening available. They might be full at the time.
Yeah.
So you're not qualified for this unit anymore. Now you got to go. You got so many days to move out.
And it's that fucking simple.
And that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
We were in a disabled unit, and the person that was disabled died. We got kicked out. So, there's one person died that was disabled, 3 other people that weren't lost their place to live.
Yeah. I'm sorry,
we
man.
can't choose when it's God's time to call us home.
You can't.
When He decides to call us home, it's time. So, and unfortunately, we leave people behind. So it's like we can't control anything.
No.
It's all we can do is try to prepare for it as much as possible and go from there.
No. Fuck, man. I understand you more than you know. I really do. It's bad. It's bad. And that's what pisses me off about all this shit. I really hate how people treat you guys, and I really want eyes on your guys' situation from a more personal window, That's why I love talking to you. And we're going to keep coming back and talking to people. I want to find people just like you. I want to get your message out there. I want people to know where you're coming from. Like, it's just stupid to me how much people ignore you guys. Like, how are we going to solve the problem unless we figure it out internally from you guys? Like, I feel like you'll have the best solution.
Yeah, you can't always work within the system. Sometimes you got to work with the people.
Yeah. I don't really trust the fucking system.
Yeah, it's like the system sees one side, the people see one side, but nothing gets done unless they work together. Mm-hmm. The system has to work with the people, or nothing's ever going to happen because they don't understand. They might know statistics and numbers, but they don't understand from both sides what it's like. And you can only really do that if you're out here talking to people.
Yeah. So, man, I'm gonna keep doing it. How much time will we talk?
21 minutes.
21 minutes? I mean, I think that's a good interview. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No. No, it's warming up a little bit, and that's good.
It is good, man. I appreciate the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking to me, Floyd. I'm gonna keep coming out. I want to get more and more eyes on this. I feel like this shit's important. I really do, and I think this is an actual way to make a change. I want people to hear your ideas. I want people to hear your perspectives.
Yeah.
Shake my hand, man. Thank you so much.
Yep.
I appreciate you.